Today we're going to be talking about marketing your business, because one of the fundamental truths to this industry is if you are not as busy as you want to be, if you do not have the parties booked that you want, if you are not recruiting people into your business at the pace that you want, if you are not selling the amount of products that you want to every single month, it simply means that not enough people know that you do what you do. It does not mean that you are a terrible consultant. It does not mean that nobody's buying or using your products. It does not mean that your products are too expensive or not good enough or anything along those lines. It has to do with the amount of people that know that you do what you do. That being said, it also is the amount of people knowing that you do what you do that are interested in your business, okay? One of the big things going on in direct sales, we're getting a lot of mud on our face right now by people who are kind of badgering their friends and family. And we like to think that we're not badgering by bringing it up over and over and over again, but that's how it is being perceived. And so it's, just because you have 1,000 friends on Facebook, that doesn't mean that 1,000 people know about your business. You should be busy. Because first of all, we're fighting that Facebook algorithm. So everything that you post, the same 50 people are seeing it anyway. So there's a whole herd of folks that have not seen a thing that you've posted in months because of Facebook choosing what people see. But also, they're not necessarily your ideal client. Yes, they are your warm market, but you are never going to build a business on the back of people that you already know. Yeah, that's a little bit harsh, and I don't mean to be quite that direct, but I need to be that direct. You have to understand that you build a business outside of your comfort zone, the people that you have not met yet, the people that may know someone that you know, but they're not exactly, necessarily your friends and family. Gone are the days that you could really kind of start in that warm market. I remember when I first started, all my friends, yes, you should do this. Oh my gosh, you'd be great at this. You'll be great. You're a natural. Da, 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 da. And then as soon as I signed up, it's like they all disappeared. Nobody could have a party. Nobody was interested in buying. They had just ordered from the party that I signed up at, so they weren't going to need anything for a while. I mean, I understand it, but I was kind of like, seriously, guys? Like, you encouraged me to do this. But what I realize now, looking back, is that was the best thing that could have ever happened, because here I was invested hundreds of dollars into, my kit was like $450 back then or something like that. So it was a huge amount of product. And I tell the story often that I did not tell my husband at the time, but I did not pay my power bill in order to purchase my kit. That was how I had the money for it. So I had to get my money back, even if it was just breaking even, because otherwise I was going to have to be explaining to my husband why we had no lights on in the house. So I had quite a bit of motivation. And like I said, all of my kind of friends and family just disappeared. But it was a very, very good thing, because it forced me out of my comfort zone, and it forced me to go and build a business that, was with people that I had never met before. And that's one of the things when we talk about overcoming recruiting objections and stuff like that. The biggest thing to remember is that your next rock star, your next, amazing $1,000 hostess, next the rock star for your team, next whatever, you probably haven't even met her yet. And so it's kind of a treasure hunt to go out there and find them, and that's where marketing really comes in. So marketing itself is not just advertising. Advertising is a part of marketing, but it's only one facet of what marketing really is, because it's not just talking about the products that you sell. It's the entire buying process. It is the entire experience. Purchases are made emotionally. first. Okay, yes, we have the thought where we go through the money and stuff like that, but the emotion and getting that heart tug and that desire for someone to want what you have is a part of that marketing. They gotta want it. It can be the best product in the whole world that's at the best price, and you're gonna deliver it wrapped on their front door. They don't even have to put pants on. But if they don't want it, they don't want it. And that's, you have to find the people that want it. You have to find the people that really want what it is that you have. And think about, who is your ideal client? Who wants what you have? Who is the biggest demographic? Is it male or female? We have a lot of men-centered direct sales companies right now. And it's fantastic because that's been such an untapped area for so long. What age are you in? More of the anti-aging sector? Well, if that's the case, then you probably don't want to be talking to the millennials. They're not there yet. So you can beat your head on the wall on trying to get 20-year-olds to buy anti-aging products. Those of us that are nearing 40 and whatever, we now know that we should have started then, but convincing them to do so can be kind of tough. Also, what kind of person are you looking for as far as, is it a parent? Do you have products that would be great for kids? Do you have products that would make parents or grandparents' lives easier? Think about it and kind of whittle it down. When you qualify, which is what this is called, qualify the people that you talk to about your business, you get a lot more yeses. Sure, you can talk to everybody under the sun. And back in the day when I signed up 20 years ago, I was in skincare, and I remember my mentor at the time saying that, anybody who, is interested in your business, they just have to have skin, which of course, was a way to be, yes, we had products for literally anybody with skin. But that, I had heard so many no's, and you can get so discouraged because you're constantly hearing no. Well, when I realized, yeah, they had skin, but they didn't want what I had, and I started targeting to people who were more discerning about their skin than just the average person, then I really started to ramp up and build my business. So you want to kind of do a little bit more targeting, and you probably hear this with Facebook marketing and stuff like that. There's a reason why target marketing is so important, because you want to get to the people that really want what you have. So you figure out who they are. Oops. Then you figure out where they are. So, this is when it really kind of gets fun, because this is where the treasure hunt goes. The treasure hunt part kicks in. And so, all right, if we're looking for moms, if you are a mom, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you have that kiddo that you take everywhere, great. Find other people just like you. Moms are at parks, daycares, library, moms groups, Mom and Me, all those things, those are still going on. And so, you just want to find them. Salons, gyms, hospitals, schools, banks, restaurants. One of the big things, I don't know why that image didn't look, is that when you find people that you have common denominators with, you have common interests, common hobbies, common passions and ideas and goals and, whatever hobby, stuff like that, then you're able to build the friendship and a relationship on something in common first. You don't walk in and stick your hand out, with a catalog in it. You can build your business first with what it is that you have in common. I tell the story that I had a diva once that was really struggling to build her jewelry business. And, I said, okay, Jan, if you did not have a jewelry business at all, okay, if no longer, what would you do with your spare time? And she said, well, I actually love to quilt. Turns out that there is a huge quilting community, you guys, like huge, like conventions and groups and local meetups and all kinds of stuff. So what ended up happening is I said, I want you to throw yourself into quilting. and really enjoy that. And so what happened was she started attending quilting groups, and she started going to quilting conventions, and she started, and she made all these friends, and it became a whole new network of people that she connected with over sewing these quilts, and they were beautiful. And then she introduced her jewelry business. And then she really grew. So she met all these people, had this, common thing that she was able, right, to connect with. And then it was, because you make friends, right? And then it was, oh, by the way, I also have this jewelry business. And then she grew. All right. So one of the biggest things is just to think about what is it that you are passionate about. And we all have something that we are passionate about. It could be, activism. If you are, I know that we have a lot of moms that have children with autism. That's a huge community of support. Keto. I can't believe how many people I've met with keto. I happen to put, like I said, I was talking about my Instagram story this morning that I put on my personal account, but I linked to my business accounts, and I have people who now are asking questions about the business, even though I was talking about just what I do on the daily basis. So again, we've connected and made a relationship based on our lifestyle of keto and intermittent fasting, but now it's kind of blending over into business. Also getting involved in your community. What are some activities that happen? Are there festivals that happen every year that you can get on, the board or volunteer for? Are there, different types of civic events and stuff like that? The thing is, you want to become the face of your company in your local area. That's step one. Now we'll talk about online marketing and stuff. That's a whole nother beast. But every time you walk out of your house, I mean, which, I have to say, then I had to get used to part of putting makeup on every single day was because I could not go to the grocery store without running into somebody. But my business was thriving, and I was selling $500,000 of product a year because I was so well known. But I was active. I was in the PTA. I did Girl Scouts for a year. I only made it for a year. Kudos to all of you that can do it longer than that. But I got my name out there, and I had a blast with my kids. We had a blast with the cookies and the events and the, whatever. So I was enjoying it, and I was happy, and I was making friends, and I was also getting my name out in the community. Again, doing those things, especially civic type stuff with your kids, PTL, whatever, be there because you are passionate about whatever the purpose is. But then when you build the relationships, like outside of that event, you can talk about your business. Don't bring your catalogs to the PTA meeting unless they're, requested. Be there for that. But it is, again, a great opportunity for you to get involved. And I would wear swag stuff, So yeah, I would wear my t-shirt that had my team name to the fall festival, or stuff like that. So you're kind of out there advertising and talking about it. Anyway, all right. So they have changed so much. All right. So you may have heard about this, and I think this is something that I've talked about before, but has kind of gotten overlooked. And I think this is one thing that is so important. If you are familiar with the Starbucks story, now, first of all, everybody has heard of Starbucks, right? Everybody knows Starbucks. Well, one thing that you may not know is that Starbucks actually had one of the smallest marketing budgets of a company that has exploded the way that it has. Starbucks was long before Shark Tank or any, Oprah. Well, it wasn't before Oprah, but she never had Oprah, or she never had it on her show that I'm aware of. They had a very small marketing budget, and it's been so impressive to see what started out as just a coffee shop becoming, the huge fortune that it is today. And there's a couple steps that they attribute to that. And they are all things that we can also put into our business. So we can learn a lot from what they have done and make it work for us. So the first thing was the perfect cup of coffee. So they spent a lot of time making what they believe is the perfect cup of coffee. And they market it as the perfect cup of coffee. So people believe that it is, or many people believe that it is the perfect cup of coffee. Well, here's the thing. First of all, this is pretty much taken care of for you. Your corporate office has chosen your perfect cup of coffee. And so, that part you kind of have done. Your corporate office has already gone through and picked the best of the best. And one of the things that I love so much about direct sales is that it is the best of the best products. You can't run down to Walmart and grab products that are as great as the stuff that is in your catalog. That's a big deal. You have a higher level of quality and a better product. And because your corporate office has gone through extensive training and research in order to have that. So you got that part down. Number two, they marketed themselves as the third place to enjoy a cup of coffee. The first place is, of course, at home. The second place generally is at your place of business, and then they became the third. So so when you walk in, there are nice, comfortable couches for you to sit on. There's nice music playing. There's paintings on the wall like you may have at home or in your office. It's a very comfortable setting. They also offered Wi-Fi. Remember that? They were one of the first places that offered free Wi-Fi. But they made it the third place for you to come and enjoy and spend time with your friends, spend time with your colleagues, get your work done, and enjoy that perfect cup of coffee. Here is how you make that work for you. You are also the third place. You are the third place to shop. People can go to the mall, to the department store, to the whatever, okay? Stand in line, deal with cranky customer service people, have to get out, park, walk, pants on, whatever. They can shop online. Well, shopping online, you risk things being as great as you think they are. You can read reviews, but we all have different opinions. It may fit, may get lost in the mail, may whatever. But you are the third place that they can shop. They can do it in their comfort of their living room with their friends and get the best customer care, get their questions answered. You, regardless of what industry you're in, you are more knowledgeable in your product than most of the people that are in retail stores. And certainly, normally, most of the people that are answering those questions when you ask for chat on a website or whatever. So you can market yourself. You're the third place too, to shop and to get with your girlfriends, have a good time, and have personalized products to what it is that you offer. Number three, customer satisfaction. Starbucks has been taught that they will remake your coffee as many times as you want. They'll even give you your money back and continue making it because they understand the importance of customer satisfaction. You can do this as well. And I'm not saying give everybody money back, but your corporate office has a return policy. And so you have the opportunity to have great customer care. It requires time. It requires being, willing to deal with people if they're upset. But you have that, and so you want to make sure that people know, if you ever don't like anything that you offer from me, no big deal. I want you to be happy. There were times that I would not sell a product from our catalog, or if they wanted it, I would say, I just want to let you know, I have had people return this because of this. Here is a product that we have found to be better. And it may be less money, more money, whatever. I wanted them to be happy. And I would say that. I want you to be happy with your purchase. It's a hassle to have to return stuff. So, while I'm willing to take the return, I just want you to know, and I would say that, and they would appreciate me being, for their best interest, not just mine. Creating a community, you have that with your team. You should have a sisterhood. You want to show that as your, when you do vendor events, everybody wearing the same clothes. You go to networking meetings, if you've got a couple of your girls with you, wear the same thing, whether it's the pin or the same clothes or whatever. Create that community. Have a Facebook customer group. We have an entire hour-long training on customer groups and how to keep those involved and going and active and keep, where people are really watching you and interested in you. Oh, we've got somebody at the front door. Smart partnerships. I'm going to have to speed this up. So smart partnerships. One of the things, if you saw Starbucks, like if you would watch sporting events and stuff like that, you would see the Starbucks logo. Oftentimes they didn't pay for that. They would be a partner in that they would like, hey, we're going to provide you guys with a couple, boxes of coffee for your athletes or for your media or for your whatever. In exchange, would you put our logo up? And so that really helped with their brand awareness and brand recognition while they were growing. What can you do? Well, this goes to our community partner program, and we have information about that on the site. But that is a huge opportunity for you to get your name out about your site and for other people to also be talking about and promoting your business for you. So who can you partner up with? It can be other direct sales companies, but don't just stick to consultants. There are tons of businesses out there that you can work with as well, and especially service-based industry, hairdressers, nail people, massage therapists, that kind of thing. So check out Community Partner Program on the site. That was one of the biggest things I ever did for my business, and it cost me absolutely zero. Innovation, coming out with constant new things. Starbucks is always coming out with new drinks, right? I mean, how many different drinks? We've had the unicorn, we've had the shamrock, we've had the, there was a, I can't think of the one that you guys may know, there was one that just came out. Now, granted, here's the funny thing too, none of them have any coffee in them. It's a coffee shop. But did you know that a Frappuccino actually doesn't have coffee in it? It's like a milkshake. But anyway, the thing is, people are loving it and keeping them going and, and stuff like that. And then you want to constantly have new stuff. You have new catalogs that come out, new products that come out. So you have that as well. Your corporate office handles all that. But what else can you do? A VIP program, implementing that. I talked about my friend Shelly is one of our divas, that she does a monthly scent box. It's a mystery box every single month. It's a great opportunity for you to do new, gets excitement. She has people that order. I'm one of them every single month. And then the last thing, brand marketing. Again, you should be talking about your business all the time. Now, that does not necessarily mean your corporate office. What is your business name? What is it that you do so that people will come to recognize you, not just your corporate office as a business? Because, Cindy, Scrapbook Cowgirl, like I'm always going to remember that. So if I need something scrapbook, I'm going to that. It takes me a minute to remember that, oh, wait, she's with, the corporate company. You want to market yourself so that people will remember you and not just go to, pureromance.com or closetomyheart.com or, whatever it may be. You want them to come to you, not just the main site. So you want to make sure that you are always talking about you and your business. Oh gosh, I lost a train of thought there. We're about to hit 30 minutes. Anyway, so the last thing that I talk about is gardening. You want to constantly be talking about your business every chance you get with people that you have never laid eyes on before. We talked in the beginning, your warm market, if you have worn them out, which if you've been in business for longer than like 3 months, chances are you'll worn them out, okay? They're done. They know what you do, they get it, and if they need something, they'll come to you. I want you to challenge yourself to go outside of that. The people that are your rock stars that are going to really grow your business, I almost would bet my whole business you haven't even met them yet. You've never seen them before, but they're out there. And one of the ways that you can really meet them, introduce yourself to them, besides, again, getting involved, building those relationships, do the community, do the hobby, do the whatever, is to start handing out gardening gifts. Now, we have an entire gardening library on the site that has all kinds of ideas of stuff that you can do. It is basically taking the business card one step further. Yes, business cards are great, and you should always have them on your physical self when you are out and about, because you never know when business is going to arise, when the opportunity is going to arise. But you can take it one step further, and instead of just handing a single little card, add a little something to it that gives some memory. So whether it is a sample a piece of chocolate, candies, trinkets, anything like that. We are coming into, I've already seen Halloween candy out. We have little candy wrappers in our template library. You want something that is economical enough, that you can hand out a bunch of them, because we call it gardening because you want to think of it as planting seeds. So every little one of these seeds is planting a flower. Now, if you've ever planted a garden from dirt, here's how it works. You plant the seed, right? You leave it alone. You maybe water it, give it a little bit of sunshine. You walk away, you come back the next day, and you still have dirt. Okay, so you plant a couple more seeds, you walk away, you come back the next day, you still have dirt, all right? Now, you may not see it, but what is happening is under the ground, that little seed is doing its magic, and eventually you'll come in and you'll see this little tiny, little sprout that is starting, and eventually you will have a big garden. But what happens, you have to keep planting, you have to keep talking about it, and just because, don't go out gardening this afternoon and then call me tomorrow and say, Lindsay, my phone didn't ring, gardening doesn't work anymore. It's 2018, that was so 10 years ago. No, you just can't see it happening yet. You've got to get the word out about your business. We have tons of information on gardening, but you should be doing this every single day. People that have a green thumb, they're not any better than all the rest of us that may have a black thumb. They just do it every day. They work their garden every day or every couple of days. They tend to it. They're there. We kill plants because we forget they exist, because we forget that they're there. And the same is true with the business. So we have Halloween coming up. You guys remember my Tic Tacs? We've got those in the template library, the little candy wrapper things. You can use Tool to put, candies to a business card, all kinds of things, and you just hand those out. It's planting the seeds. You go to a restaurant, you give it to the host. You give it to the waiter. You give it to the bank teller. You give it to the person, walk inside to pay for your gasoline, especially if you see, somebody that might be like your target market in there. There's all kinds